Hi, my name is Damien. Welcome to the Relational Literacy Lab. This is a weekly gathering dedicated to the practice of being human together. I hope you enjoy this episode.
And so tuning into yourself, arriving with yourself, feeling your body. What are you arriving with? What does it feel like to be you? What does it feel like to be in your body? And taking notice of the places of your body that might feel a little tired or tight. Is there any physical discomfort? Is there anywhere you feel closed? Taking a breath and then noticing where in your body feels really good. Where is there lightness? Where is there warmth and ease? In what ways do you feel open? Taking an expansive inhale with whatever you're noticing. And at your own time, when you feel ready, bringing your attention outward towards the group. And once you are oriented towards the group, just taking a notice of the others that you're here with. Can you notice the difference, how your experience shifts from previously just connecting with self and now having your attention outward and towards others? And then perhaps zooming in on one individual, just noticing the impact that this human has on you, even in silence. That can you notice how you're being impacted by this person? And just to bring contrast, because as humans, I have it that we work well when we can compare things and contrast things. Shifting your attention to the next person, a different individual. And just notice how your experience changes just by shifting your attention to someone else. And so for today, I'm going to continue inviting you to use the chat as a place where you can share your experience. Feel free to use that now as far as whatever you're noticing. But in a moment, I want to hear from you as the group, just bringing some of your voices into the space of what you're noticing. Before we go in that direction, I'm going to set a little context for what we're up to here today. I think the first part of context is that this is an experiment, and there is some structure that's familiar from a previous event class that many of you are familiar with. And some of that might be here, but also I'm going to be experimenting with different styles and different ways that we might be able to engage and show up here. And that being said, I would love to start us off with the sentence stem, and it's in the realm of noticing. And so as we had your attention on each individual, there's some noticing there perhaps, and maybe you want to share from that place. But what I'm noticing doesn't have to be that. Maybe I'm noticing something different. Pretty simple. Keep it pretty simple for this one. What I'm noticing right now is, and feel free to share your name and where you're calling from. I'll start us off. My name's Damien, calling from Santa Barbara, California. What I'm noticing is that I'm slowing down and I'm really paying attention to all of you. When you're complete, pass it to the next person. I'm going to pass it to Carolina.
Hi, Carolina, calling from Cyprus. I'm noticing warmth, nice warmth in my belly, and some curiosity about people here. And would you like to go next, Mahaya?
Mahaya, Pacific, Canada. And what I'm noticing the heaviness of my lower body right now. It's anchoring me. And also a feeling of grief. Pass it on to Tina.
Hi, good morning and good afternoon. I'm noticing a lot of background noise right now. Noticing so like a little bit of a wind on my body, and my cat is moving right in front of me right now. And I'm gonna pass it to David.
I'm noticing I'm very distracted. There are people running in and out, like sometimes literally running in and out this room. So I'm quite distracted. I'm noticing that. And I'll pass it to Rosie.
Jose, I'm speaking from Santa Barbara, California. I'm noticing some warmth on my belly and on my hands, and some jitterness, some tingling around my chest. I'll pass it to Kainoa.
Hi, I'm Kainoa. I'm calling in from Santa Barbara. I'm noticing the heat on the heating pad I'm sitting on, and there's a lag in my headphones, so it's weird to talk.
And let's see who has not yet gone. Raise your hand. Let's talk for a moment about context. So we have context for if we're circling or in relational inquiry, we set a certain context, we're setting a container. But also, any time we're doing anything, there is a context. And the more explicit we can set that context, I have it, the more we're setting ourselves up for success and having the experience that we want. So basically what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're going to do it together, and who we are being while we're doing it. And then can we agree on those things when we're in it together? So setting the context, creating agreements around how we're going to play or participate. With circling, we talk a lot about roles. And when we have agreement on like what our roles are, then we set the stage for a circle. This is how I'm going to participate as facilitator. This is how you get to participate as the focus person or as participant. And we're agreeing on those roles in a way of kind of like guidelines and rules of how we're going to engage with each other. And so invite each one of us for a moment just to notice the context that you're in. And right now there might be implicit context. What is the context that you're noticing you are in right now? And let's say, what's the implicit context that you're in right now? Meaning, it's not something you've said out loud to yourself. It's not something that you've consciously agreed to, but on some level, even if it's implicit, you're in this context. At some level, you have agreed to it. And let's have one of you share, if you'd like, whatever you're noticing around your context.
I'm noticing that one of my contexts tests is agreeing to feel.
Yeah, and how do you notice that, Mahaya?
There's the openness to feeling, and also there's a belief that this is the way.
So there's a belief that this is the way.
Uh-huh.
Like the way is to feel.
Uh-huh.
And because you have that belief, you've opened to feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And so it sounds like an explicit part of your context.
Mm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Explicit because it's conscious, because
Mhm.
something that and implicit is when it's unconscious. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So an explicit part of your context because you have like consciously agreed to that with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Hear that. Mm.
Thanks, Mahaya. I'll say a part of my context is that I have chosen to host this live experiential platform lab. And a part of that, there's a context within that context is that I'm going to be speaking and I have things that I want to talk about. I have a structure that I want to hold. So those are all a part of like my context within the context of this framework we're calling the Relational Literacy Lab. And so I love this. I love the idea that at any moment I can pause and you can pause and just kind of check, oh, what is the context of my reality right now? Like part of your context is are you inside of a building? Most of you appear to be inside. So what's the structure of actual inside for you? Like the walls, the doors, the windows. Are there curtains or is there a rug or what kind of textures, what kind of smells? These are all a part of your physical context that you're within. But then there's also the social dynamics of how you are in your home with your family or friends. That's also a context. And it's implicit if there are these agreements that you actually didn't explicitly make, right? Like the agreement of like, oh, when one person in your friend group or in your family does a certain thing and you react a certain way and you're like, wait, did, did I do that consciously, or is this a way that I just react always to when you do this, I do that? That's a part of your context. That's a part of your family structure, your family context, your friend group context. And the more that you can make those agreements of, oh, actually, this is the way that I want to play with you or behave with you. When we cross the street, we're going to hold hands. And like we've agreed on that. Or we just naturally do it. We never agreed on it. And it's just kind of the way that we have always done things. And it feels good or it feels bad. And then bringing the word context structure to circling, then we have a more explicit, more specific set of rules, guidelines that we're moving towards. And I want to talk about that in a moment, but before we do, I want to just check, like what's landing here? What are you getting from what I'm saying? Is there anything you want to share about it? What are you noticing? Questions, comments?
Noticing that it can be a bit difficult to become aware of the implicit elements of the context because they are like partially at least unconscious. So I'm just thinking quite hard now, what are those parts for me right now? And I don't know if I'm getting it right, but for instance, there is some drilling outside of the window. This seems to be implicit. I haven't agreed with the neighbors about it. Or like something a bit closer to home. I think when I'm done here, there will be some expectation from my family that I will prepare some food. It's also kind of implicit in my family that I usually prepare food.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that those are the implicit aspects?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that, Carolina. So right, so the sound outside of the window, like neighbors doing construction, that's a part of your context. It's not something you've necessarily agreed to or gave consent for, and yet here it is, a part of your context. It's affecting your world, right? And then the implicit agreement with your family where somehow they understand, even though it wasn't verbally agreed upon, but somehow they understand and you understand that you're going to make food for them when you're complete. And that might be implicit now, but maybe there's a way that you might at some point want it to be explicit, want there to be like, hey, I know we've been doing this thing that we've always done, but can we talk about this actually? Actually, I really enjoy making you guys food. It brings a lot of joy for me. How is it for you? Is it always expected? Do you guys want to participate in making dinner? Do we want to make agreements around how we do dinner in our home? And we don't have to. Maybe it's just always worked and it flows and we don't need to talk about it, and that's fine. And you have the agency to do something different if you want to change your context. David, I noticed some facial expressions. Curious what you're noticing, what's happening for you if you're open to sharing.
I heard you very calmly and in a slow pace talk about making explicit something that's happening here. Like I often prepare dinner here. And I have I've tried something similar as you were modeling with my kids.
Mhm.
Yeah. hmm It would be nice if they share the same slow pace and willingness to participate in the discussion. That made me laugh out loud. Like, yeah, some contexts, this is very natural for me to request or name what's real for me and then make a request. And sometimes it feels like, yeah, a very large stretch. So that's why I was laughing. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, David. And I love knowing that, hearing that. And it sounds to me like talking about context of your home, that a part of your context is even if you invite your kids to participate in a certain way or to slow down, that's probably not going to happen. So I would say that a part of your context is that your kids don't want to participate. Yeah. And then also part of your context is that you're going to have an experience around that. You're going to have maybe some emotions come up. There's laughter, amusement. Maybe there's also, maybe it hurts a little bit.
Yeah, the laughter is here now, but there's a lot of frustration. So, yeah.
Yeah. So that frustration also being a part of the context in your home, in that dynamic. Appreciate you naming that, David. I want to set us up for an experience. And I think I would like to circle one of you. And so I want to just check. I noticed, Mahaya, you had shared there was grief earlier and it had my attention. And so I'm just curious if you feel like you'd like to be circled today by me. That's something you feel available for. Yeah. Okay, great. So in a moment, we'll take a break and we'll set context for a circle and we'll have Mahaya as our focus person. We will do another brief connection to self as a part of the circling process. I'm going to set context for our circle, starting with roles. Mahaya, you will be the focus person and you just get to be yourself. And as participants, it looks like we have Carolina as a participant for this circle. And I want to welcome your voice into the space, Carolina. So if you're feeling impacted and you want to share from that place, feel free to just kind of bring your voice in, bring your curiosity about Mahaya, bringing your curiosity in service of getting Mahaya's world, being with Mahaya. If it feels better for you to raise your hand, I will call on you. And so feel free to do that as well. That's easier. And as a facilitator, I'm holding the context. I might reiterate the context. I might pause or invite us to slow down. And I will be continually attempting to weave a sense of shared reality and getting Mahaya's world, inviting us into presence, being with it in the moment. And that's not to say that the stories that you share of the future or the past can't also be here, but that we're going to invite us into the present moment as much as we possibly can along the way. And as a practice for all of us, we can practice honing our experience. And we can do that through the use of language. I statements is a good example of that. Any way that we can speak inarguably would be a way of being in ownership of our experience. Sharing impact is also a way that we get to stay relational, sharing what it's like to be with Mahaya in the present moment, sharing the impact of her words, any emotions or body sensations that come up in response. Let's talk a little bit about assumptions. We're here to question our assumptions, but part of questioning assumptions and the why for questioning assumptions is that we can, as humans, are oftentimes in assumptions. We're in the stories that we're making up, that there is an intelligence in those stories. And for this practice, we get to question those stories, the narratives. What becomes possible for that is that we get to open up to the mystery of what's here. What is it like to be with Mahaya now? Can I really let go of all the stories and really open to this present moment of being with Mahaya? And I'll say I like to think of this as a meditation. That can I meditate on being with Mahaya, discovering my own experience of myself and her along the way, sharing from that place. Let's go back to context. So the timing of this circle, this is going to be a 40-minute circle. Along the way, I'll let us know 5 minutes before the end. Let's see, where's my timepiece? All right, so 40, I'll let us know. I'll give us a 5-minute warning. So 40-minute circle, that time is starting now. Let's talk for a moment around this idea of welcoming everything. And for me, the welcoming everything being an essence piece, but also an essential piece of this practice. And for me, the welcoming everything is what gives it this meditative quality. The welcoming everything is what allows us to be with someone exactly as they are, or attempt to at least. So when we're welcoming everything, we're attempting to let go of an agenda. We're not trying to get somewhere else. We're not giving advice. It's a way of really orienting towards being with, and then noticing where I do have resistance, and that resistance is a place where I can share impact, where I can share, oh, I'm noticing that I have judgment, or I'm feeling resistance, or there's a way that I'm wanting something to be different. All right, so let's pause here and I'll just check participants, focus person, Mahaya, Carolina, any questions or comments before we, great. So we'll do a connection to self, connection to each other, and then we'll bring our attention onto Mahaya. Feel free to close your eyes. Connecting with self, noticing the quality of your experience. What is it like to be you? What thoughts are swimming through your mind? How does it feel in your heart? And checking one last time, what does it feel like to be you? And bringing your awareness out at your own pace whenever you feel ready. Taking notice of each other. Just taking a moment for the three of us to take each other in. And then let's bring our attention to Mahaya. Notice myself slowing down as my attention is on you, Mahaya.
Feeling gratitude for actually both of you, Damian and Carolina, for giving me the attention. And also, right now, I'm just settling into the connection with you, Damian.
And it looked like you took a big breath when you said that, just settling in. Settling in with the connection with me.
Yeah, I'm just tuning into my body right now.
What do you notice as you tune into your body?
I feel like a little bit dissociated right now. It's kind of like I'm not really with you. It's like I'm with you, but I'm not feeling the connection as much right now. I'm seeing the connection, but I'm not feeling it.
Hmm.
And also, I'm not feeling myself as much, not just feeling some tensions in different areas.
Yeah, so just kind of noticing you're not feeling me or yourself as much as you might.
Mm.
Some sense of it being a dissociation. And I'm guessing you know that because you know what it's like to feel more connected. I notice I have some curiosity about the dissociation. It's like, does it feel like you're kind of like out here? Or is it more like less access to your emotions or something else?
Yeah, it's true. It's like I feel like I'm over here right now.
Mm.
It's almost like the dandelion, the white thing of dandelion that floats on top of the stem. And it's
Mm-hmm.
all here and
Mm-hmm.
not much down here. And it's heavy here.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. When you say heavy, I interpret that as like there's something not like heady, but also like not pleasant in your head.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, it's pressure. Doesn't feel pleasant. And buzz.
Mhm. I notice myself still kind of with the words dissociation. And when I hear those words, when I really like sit with those words, I think of like protecting, protection. So I'm curious if there's a way that you have any awareness of protecting yourself from something right now.
Mm. When you said protection, I had this part coming on right away. It's like I'm feeling it's almost like looking through my left eye. It's a very different experience from feeling dissociated. There's aliveness in that, and there's strength.
Mm.
And yeah, there's strength.
And you said your left eye and strength with protection.
Yeah.
But that doesn't feel like the same as dissociation for you.
Yeah, I'm kind of split right now because there's like a relational stuff that's happening for me right now as well. Kind of like there's my experience and there's the relational stuff, and I'm a little bit getting blank around it.
Mm-hmm. What's the relational stuff right now?
Right now in this moment, I'm hearing the kindness in your voice, and that feels good. I feel there's kind of like a bit of response in my heart, like the warmth when I heard this kindness.
Hearing that, I noticed there's some like warmth and softening happened in my heart.
Mm. Yeah, there's a story that I have right now that you were prepared to hear something that would be maybe like something that has a bit of like of a conflict energy, like a little bit confronting. And instead, when you heard something that was nice, it's not making you softened.
Mm.
I wonder if that's true.
I think it's there's some truth to that. I don't know as much. I wasn't aware of any bracing, but definitely when I we're exploring the dissociation and then even naming like potential for a protector could potentially be confronting. But there was some aliveness and excitement around that. And and I think instead, well, what happened for me is it just shifted into more like warmth and softness in what's here now. And that continues to be here for me.
Yeah, I'm noticing in myself right now, I want to stay with you in a relational space. So, at the same time, that dissociative experience coming in again. And I'm not welcoming that so much because it feels really nice to stay in connection
Mm.
this
Mhm.
world. So it's just like, hey, I want to stay here with you. And at the same time, my truth is shifting right now.
Mhm.
And there's some fear of disappointing also, because like this is much more alive than that.
Yeah. I'm noticing I'm smiling with you as you're sharing because I feel like appreciation just for what's real and true. Yeah, and I feel really open to like sometimes it's gonna, yeah, like maybe we get to be relational and then sometimes, yeah, other things happen, get popped out, dissociated or distracted, and Yeah, I feel totally welcoming of that, and personally don't require you to stay relational the whole time.
I'm feeling like I'm becoming like there's like more vigilance coming in right now, and it's almost like forcing myself to stay relational so that I can feel you better. Like it's like if I can trust you, it's just like they're like come into this mode of really being very vigilant of what I'm hearing and like checking what I'm seeing and making conclusions for myself. Just like that's the mood I am in right now.
Mm.
And it's just like almost like I'm forcing myself to stay relational so I can understand like if I can trust you or not.
I want to name, like, I'm tracking Carolina and I want to weave her in a moment. But before we do go in any other direction, just want to like, I want to have shared reality with you around this part. And you named it a couple times, like forcing yourself to stay relational. I think those are the words you used.
Mhm.
And I noticed like some part of me tightened a little bit, like some whatever way that's happening for you, it sounds painful to me, like forcing yourself to stay relational.
Mhm. Yeah, it takes energy. Mm.
Is there some pain there as well?
What I noticed, I right away shifted into dissociations, kind of like I got permission to not stay relational.
Mm. Mm.
So I'm back to feeling disconnected.
Mm.
And it is more relaxing for me. It takes less energy.
Yeah. Yeah, so just for this moment, I want you to stay exactly where you are. Or at least giving you permission to stay exactly where you are. Not that you need my permission to do that.
Yeah, there's a desire to close my eyes and just completely disconnect.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Yeah. So following that impulse if you feel like it. And then at any point, if you feel inspired, Carolina, I want to invite you to come in and share impact. And what's that like, Mahaya, just knowing that I'm inviting Carolina to come in and share impact?
As long as I don't need to open my eyes.
You certainly don't.
Noticing I'm in a quite slow space within myself, being with Mahaya. And I'm really feeling my belly. I'm also in a space of listening. I have great curiosity about the dissociation space of Mahaya because I have my own version of that. And I'm wondering how it's for Mahaya. And yet I have the desire like, not to ask her, but to let her be there. Yeah.
Mm. So it sounds like you're feeling connected to Mahaya in her experience.
Mm.
Mm.
Connected and curious also. Something about it is feeling mysterious to me, like what it's like for her.
Mm. Mhm. And taking your time, Mahaya. Right? Also, feel free to share what was that like just to hear Carolina, her experience of being with you.
I felt like I'm allowed to be the way I am. Yeah, and especially Carolina, because you've mentioned that you have your own states of that, your own version, I guess, of that state, and like that, like, oh, okay, I'm not being made wrong for being here. That was kind of like giving me permission to be the way I am.
Mm.
And also, I felt in a way honored also because Carolina, you didn't like there wasn't labeling of that. I guess it's more curiosity. Is it mysterious? So it's felt like, oh, okay, there is yeah, just not having that being boxed in some way. Felt really good.
Mm.
And also, I'm noticing that it feels so good for me to be with my eyes closed. It's almost like the dissociation goes away. I start feeling more like I have, like the energy is flowing, like it doesn't feel stuck. And it feels nourishing. And there is this fear that to participate, I need to open my eyes at some point, or like I have to open this, like feeling a bit of pressure that like I can't stay this way.
Mm. Yeah. So just to come in with some contact where you're at, Mahaya. Seems like it feels really good where you are right now, and including the way you got to receive Carolina. And it's also, I'm hearing there's like a fear or a certain amount of tension in the idea that you have to open your eyes to participate.
Yeah, there is a fear of abandonment. It feels like if I don't open my eyes, Damian, you'll like go or something.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like wanting to stay connected and also connected with me, but also stay connected with yourself with your eyes closed. Mm-hmm. Not wanting me to go away or abandon you. Mm-hmm. Does that feel connected to grief?
The place where I usually feel grief is my throat and chest, and right now it's completely like numb.
It's
So
numb.
I don't feel grief actually right now. Yeah, I feel still like that dandelion, the buttercup on the top.
Mm-hmm. So it's not that it's gone, but it's that it's numb. You don't feel it.
Yeah, the difference is with my eyes closed is that there is very little pressure onto my head. So there is more ease.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I just want to let you know from over here, I feel open and kind of celebratory of you being with your eyes closed in that it feels nourishing for you. Is that right? It feels nourishing?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not also noticing care for you, just like, oh, are you gonna be okay? Like, do you know what to do?
Mm-hmm.
it's like at first like almost like you're running to the show and like it's like what's about the show.
Yeah. Yeah, your care lands warmly over here. And I want to let you know, for me, and I've said these words to you before in the past, but it applies right now. Nothing needs to happen. How was that for you to hear?
It's kind of gave me permission to go more into myself. So I just adjusted my body so I'm more comfortable and starting to really open up to feeling more of my body now and becoming aware of more places. Like I got that permission to take this space for myself.
And hearing you say that, I noticed I felt more opening in my belly. Almost like there was more space for me to be. And I'm going to weave Carolina in again also. Carolina, what is it like for you right now?
Feeling slowness and comfort, and a lot of symbols in my mind, like the dandelion is playing in my mind. I was thinking that at some point the wind will take it, and then Damien, you said nothing needs to happen, and it was interesting, but it gives me joy to know that Mahaya is allowing herself to have her eyes closed and to feel more. It gives me joy because I feel a bit closer, more connected. I'm not sure why, but I'm happy. And another symbol that is very strongly in me is like wrapping a blanket around the child. Like, it's okay. Maybe I'm the child, maybe Mahaya is the child, just that the symbol is here and it feels beautiful. And it's connected with the nothing needs to happen. And it's okay to be the way it is.
I like that image of wrapping a child. I'm curious if that resonates for you, Mahaya, and how it was to hear Carolina's words.
Yeah, there's just, I feel so much appreciation of kindness that I'm feeling. Flowing through your words, Carolina. Yeah, more permission. Yeah, I'm feeling really held right now.
I've been having this image feeling for the last few minutes as we've been together in this, and it's do you feel open to hearing it, Mahaya? So it's an image of the three of us, and we're floating in this dark, warm, safe river. But it's almost like it's so dark that we can't see, but it's also not it's in like this like safe way that we're being held by this river.
Mm. 。 Mm. 。 。 。 。 。 。 . feeling gratitude. Yeah, and there's a desire just to stay here. And there's kind of like images and thoughts about life outside life. And it's kind of like, I don't want to come back. It's like I don't want to participate in this life. It's just like this fear going back and having to deal with everything.
Yeah, so something around just wanting to stay here and the contrast of life on the outside of this experience. You noticed your face kind of squinched.
Yeah, now grief is coming. Yeah.
Yeah, can you share with us about the grief?
Yeah, it's just the words that come with it. It's like how difficult it is, how difficult it's been, and how just it's a little difficult.
Yeah, so just noticing there's some tears with that grief. Something in the difficult, like life feels hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just feeling like a wave moving through here. It's a lot to feel.
And your hands kind of reference your chest, a wave moving here. Is it in the heart?
Yeah, it kind of moves in a waves. So right now, again, it's almost like I don't feel as much here. But when it moves, it's like with my hands, I just try to open space for it because it feels like I have like, it's like there's so much to feel, but it's like there's like like I need to open my body to feel more of that. Like it's like a bottleneck here.
Yeah.
It feels like
Yeah, would it be okay if we just slow down with that? Hearing there was waves of emotion. It also felt like there was your body kind of moving with that, trying to acclimate or open. It seems like if something is paused or slowed,
yeah, the feeling is that grief, it wants to move, but the body is contracted. So it's like whenever it starts moving, there's this like it's like almost like birthing something, but like hanging for that. And yeah.
Yeah, so instead of trying to move the grief, what's it like just to notice that there's grief that wants to move?
Brings grief, but very gentle. Yeah, but there's no like straining, just gentle.
Yeah, so it's sounds like maybe a little bit of relief that comes with the grief and the gentle.
When you said the word relief, my thoughts right away went into my external life. And it was like, oh, no, there's no relief.
Mm-hmm.
Like a fear came in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just noticing there's some external pressure from life. Seems to be connected to the grief. And I notice for me, as you share about your grief and that experience, I feel like a pressure in my solar plexus, like in the middle of my chest, below my heart. And it feels like both warm and stingy. And that's our 5-minute warning.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to set a timer for 5 more minutes. And Carolina, is there something that you're getting about Mahaya? Or is there a way that you just, what's it like to be with her in this moment as we move towards closing?
Feeling a lot of appreciation that I could feel Mahaya in her experience. It feels like an honor. And a lot of times also towards the end, when you Mahaya spoke about like external life, my own experiences were coming. So like of course they are different, but yeah, they brought up emotion, and I'm feeling there is like the quality of depth being with you. Like being with you, even though the experience might be a bit painful, it allows me to be deeper in myself. I'm feeling grateful for that one too.
Mm. I resonate with that. Just noticing you opened your eyes, Mahaya, and checking in. How is that to receive?
I feel honored. And also appreciation, Carolina, for your own depth
Mm.
and perception. Also, I feel rested. It's like letting myself be with my eyes closed. It sounds like I just rested for a while. But restful.
And so just checking, feeling rested feels different from the beginning of our circle with your eyes open.
Mm. In gratitude right now, Damien, towards you, towards Valerie. The way you held me.
Mm. And so I also feel gratitude for this circle, this experience, And I'd like to just name a few places we've been, just to reference, starting with the eyes open and some kind of dissociation with the grief that you named in the beginning, and trying to stay connected. And then something around getting to close your eyes, having permission to just be with yourself with your eyes closed, felt like it opened up more nourishment, more space for the grief. And without even needing to know the content of the grief, just some reference of like the outside world and that kind of pressure. I'm feeling a lot of warmth. Slow and spacious. And so in this last minute or so, what's it like for you now? So I would like to hear my reflection.
I heard your reflection. I started connecting to the grief again. And then the words came in, and I'm familiar with this story. It's like this desire, this longing. I just want home where I can crash and heal.
Longing for home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some emotion that comes
That
with
really
those
hits.
words. Yeah. Let's just take a few breaths together with those words. And notice how much I'm wanting that for you, Mahaya. And thank you so much for your willingness to be the focus person and bringing yourself so fully.
Grateful for having this opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you. And with that, your circle is closed. And pausing here, I invite us to just take a moment going inward. Feel free to close your eyes, take a breath, coming back into yourself. And when you feel ready in these last 5 minutes, we have to debrief. Feel free to come on screen if you're off screen and you would like to. And so this is 5 minutes to debrief. It's a chance to just kind of talk about what happened. We're not reopening the circle. In other words, we're not sharing impact. This is less of us being relational, more of us just kind of talking about what happened, maybe choice points or whatever you noticed, any kind of takeaways as well. So opening it up, and also, as always, feel free to use the chat. And Let's see. Mahaya, is there anything you'd like to share about being the focus person?
Yeah, I was noticing how good that feels when I was sharing and you were just repeating back what you've heard. Or sometimes you would put it into your own words, and sometimes it would be the exact words I was saying, and it felt good. Just that was enough. It's kind of like it was so simple, but just that was enough.
Just reflecting back or kind of reiterating what I'm hearing.
Just like you did right
Just
now.
like I just did. That was enough.
Yeah, it created this safety. It's like, I felt like, oh, yeah, I can be, like, nothing is, yeah, you're just there and there's some kind of safety in just being reflected back without, like, yeah, there's kind of like trust that was growing through that for me.
Yeah, I'm glad you named that. And it felt like, or it seemed to me like, as we reflect on that, that safety was what you needed to really be able to go where you went and go internal. It needed to feel okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And also, last time you held me, and this time the words that you said that nothing needs to happen, it just had such a power.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like this, the biggest expression of welcoming everything. Felt like just that removes any pressure, self-created pressure away.
Yeah, thanks for naming that. It does feel like it really points towards the welcoming everything. Yeah, nothing needs to happen. And so how oftentimes in life and in circles we feel like we need to make something happen or something, we need to get somewhere.
Yeah, and that is a really big piece for me here. I was in my experience is that, like, when I am focusing on someone, there is a part of me that always feels like, oh no, something needs to happen. If nothing happens, it feels like nothing happens, it feels like I'm not productive.
Mm-hmm.
And being on this end where nothing is happening, but it was so rich for me personally. It just shows to me how much actually is happening for the person, even if, like, on the surface, like, we're not getting anywhere specifically, maybe, according to what the mind thinks.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
And as we come close to time, let's check. Dina wrote in the chat, the pacing and tone. The pacing and tone fall felt was calm and soothing to me. Does that resonate for you as well, Mahaya, the pacing and
Yeah,
tone?
absolutely. Yeah, and kind also, like and kindness was so just hang out.
I felt kind.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Let's check. Carolina, is there anything you'd like to share?
For me, I saw very clearly that when there was no pressure for connection in a certain way, it really allows deep connection to emerge naturally. It was very precious to observe it and feel it.
So like the not being pressure, there's no pressure for connection opened up to more connection. Uh-huh. Yeah, I love that. And we'll go to the chat as we're wrapping up here. Kainoa wrote, I felt impacted by just simply being with Mahaya's experience without trying to fix or change it, and how nourishing that was for her and myself too. And then the last thing we'll go towards is Dina's comment in the chat. I also enjoyed that you followed Mahaya's impulse to close her eyes. I enjoyed that as well. Yeah, that was it felt really nourishing for me to get to follow that impulse. And then I think the last thing I'll share is with the channels. If we had been earlier in the circle or there was more time, I would have loved to go into an experiment with the eyes closed, the staying inward, and exploring the difference between going outward, whether that's out into the life's problems, the world, and then coming back, maybe like a pendulating between the two. Those would be some options for experimenting. But didn't feel like that was the direction, but also could have been an option. Okay, so we're gonna pause here. We are at time. I want to just say thank you to all of you for being here, for participating in your own way. This was really enjoyable for me, and we'll be back next week at the same time. Feel free to reach out between now and then, anytime, for any kind of reflections, questions, or anything else. And yeah, love this as an ongoing experiment and exploration, and we'll see kind of what happens from here.